Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into the Pro Football Chase podcast. It's Isaac Saenz with you. And joining me for an interview today is 49ers safety Jimmie Ward. Ward has recorded 251 tackles, 2 interceptions, with 1 being returned for a touchdown, 29 pass defenses, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles in 64 career games and 44 starts. Jimmie, thanks for joining me. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Couldn't be better. Wish times was better right now with the COVID-19 going on, but I'm still blessed to be alive and be healthy.
How are you handling this stay-at-home order? We know it's been quite the topic of discussion for a while since things really hit back in March. How have you and your family been adapting to this stay-at-home order?
Man, we end up, everybody had to adapt. We just been trying to take one day at a time. Still been trying to go out and grind, trying to give me a workout each day. Trying to eat 3 times a day as much as possible, just to make sure I don't lose any weight or gain too much extra weight. It's difficult right now, but thankfully I've been able to, each day since the COVID-19 had hit.
All right, man. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're able to work around it, stay healthy, and staying safe. Now, let's go ahead and get into your journey to the NFL. Jimmie, you were selected by the 49ers with the 30th overall pick of the 2014 NFL Draft. You played your college ball at Northern Illinois, where you led the Huskies in tackles, interceptions, and pass breakups. Third-team AP All-American in 2013. What was your pre-draft process like, and what do you remember most about it?
Man, that it was basically just another I want to say mini season after that, because coming from a smaller school, I didn't know. I know I was gonna get drafted. I didn't know if it was gonna be first. I didn't know if it was gonna be second. But I just knew it was a process. And what I mean by process is after that, I had to train. You got to go to find somewhere to train. And after that, you got to do the combine. You got to do the pro day, the All-Star game that I ended up doing. And the All-Star game really helped me out too. I ended up winning like the best DB award and that. So I think that helped boost my ratings heading into the draft. Then I ended up finding out that I had a 5th metatarsal fracture in my foot at the combine. So when they find stuff out like that, they won't let you participate in a day like during the combine. So I had to sit out. Ended up just doing bench, and I had to sit out and wait to pro day to run my 40, and I ended up running on 4.4 on a fractured foot, and I think that really helped skyrocket my draft rank that day too. And that's really it. And I just had to wait it out to the draft, and like I said, that was a process. I ended up staying home too. I didn't. I think it was in New York that year. I didn't go. I'm more of a chill guy, but I don't know. Maybe if I would have knew I was gonna go top 15, I probably would have went to New York. But I ended up just staying at home just to be around the family.
Yeah, and that's one thing that was interesting and definitely different about the 2020 NFL Draft. It was all virtual, so we were able to see all the families, all the draft prospects celebrate. What was that moment like for you, Jimmie? You said you were at home. You got the call that you were going 30th overall. What was your first thought when you got the phone call from the 49ers?
Oh, man, I was excited. I was just happy I was able to play in Cali. I played in Cali like one time during one of those bowl games. I think I want to say my junior year. I think it was my senior year. It's the Poinsettia Bowl in San Diego. It was around December, and it just had great weather. So I was hoping to go to a Cali team, and I ended up going to the 49ers, and they had just went to the playoffs that previous year before I got there. So I thought we was gonna have another great year, but we ended up kind of going down. It was kind of rough.
Yeah.
I don't want to get off the topic, but yeah, but eventually we ended up kicking it back up.
Talking about making the jump to the NFL, playing with the Niners and living out that cool reality of playing with a California team, how would you characterize your transition from Northern Illinois to the NFL? What was the most difficult thing that you had to adapt to?
Oh man, just really just the time and just like it's no more school because ever since I've been playing sports, you had to do. I had to go to school somehow, some way, like either school before, practice before school class or class before practice and workouts. Like so, when I took out all the classes and just all I had to do was just focus on football. That's a lot of extra time. So I still had to find a way to do something to take up some time. So, and that really helped me, but it took me a year or two to get the routine because it's all about having a routine. And then I didn't have anybody like older that was close to me that actually, played in the NFL. So I had to look out. I had the older guys to really watch what they do to really find a routine and see what my body liked because coming from Northern Illinois, we didn't have some of these resources that I want to say the NFL program has, like with the hot tub, cold tub, hot sauna, steam sauna. You can get dry needling, you can get IVs. It's like it's so much resources here in the NFL. So it's like, what should I get? I just getting stuff, and I don't even know if it was helping me or not at the time. But now I want to say going into year 7, I can really feel like the different resources that I'm using. I can feel it how it helps my body for each week.
What memories do you have from your first training camp with the 49ers? I know a lot of different rookies that I've talked to, they said that they had that one welcome to the NFL moment. Did you have any of those in your first training camp?
Man, I had you know what? I'm going to say playing in Baltimore. We had the scrimmage against Baltimore my rookie year. Man, I had a great practice. But at the same time, it was rough. Like I realized I forgot how hot it gets, and just some of those places where it's more humid. In Baltimore, it was steaming hot, and then we practiced longer than what we practiced in Cali. So it was rough, but I ended up doing great in the practices. That's the main thing. But other than that, that's like the main moment that stuck out to me during training camp.
Jimmy, you have played a variety of different roles in the secondary since your rookie season, right cornerback, free safety. What are some positives about your versatility as a defender?
Just being able to cover and tackle. I just feel like it's both important. And really, that kind of helped. I want to say that helped my career. Then again, it could have helped and it could have hurt it a little bit. But, when I came in, I played nickel for that first year. So I really had to learn through like a little bit more techniques than I had to do in college, because NFL is more competition, it's more challenge. So, but I ended up learning it that second year, and I felt like I was really good. And then that's when one of my coaches moved me to cornerback. And to be honest, I don't really know how to play cornerback. I learned how to play cornerback since I've been in the NFL, but I ended up picking up some of those tools in the bag. And I feel like that really elevated my game before I transitioned to safety. Because now I've been in the slot. I got some tools for being in the slot. I got some tools for playing outside corner. So I already had the tackling technique. I've been doing that since I've been 9 years old. That's all I've been, that's one thing I emphasize in tackling, because if somebody breaks, that's what football is about. It's about inches. Can you get somebody down on defense? And I had that. So I was already equipped with that. So just playing safety, and I could tackle, I could cover, take great angles. It really helps. Like I just feel like I could be like a cheat code. Like how somebody would say Tyreek Hill, is a great offensive weapon, like because he can play wide receiver, you can put him at running back, or Tyson Hill, like he played tight end, played special teams, like I'm one of those guys. Or the other guy, the Simmons guy that's coming from Clemson, just got drafted to Arizona, like play multiple positions, and I just feel like it'll definitely help you out. It'll help your team out too, because if you don't have that many bodies at a certain position, they can throw him in there. Even if he's not his best, he's still gonna be good at the position. He's still gonna make plays, and it helps. It helps the team.
Now to the good part of the interview, Jimmy. You recorded your first career regular season interception in 2015 against Jay Cutler and the Bears. You took it 29 yards to the house, flipped into the end zone. What do you remember about that sequence?
I just remember the Chicago Bears love throwing screens. So that's one thing. When I'm at nickel or if I'm playing down in the box, I watch for teams that throw screens, because if they throw a lot of them, you can jump one of them. But I just remember just how Jeffrey, outside Jeffrey, I want to say at the X at that time. I just remember he was kind of off the ball, and a number 2 wide receiver, the slot wide receiver, he was on the ball, and they had a tight end. No, they had tight end at 2, and the E was at 3. And normally when they put the tight end at 2 and it's a flip, that's a big screen alert. And I want to say the tight end was at 2 and the wide receiver was at 3. So I knew it was coming. It was a few guys that knew it was coming, and I just had to make sure. So Susan, I seen Jeffrey take a step up and go back. I ran towards the angle of the ball. Like I didn't run towards Jeffrey. I just ran in the way because I know the ball had to pass this spot in order to get to Jeffrey. And I just jumped it, and all that. The hardest part was catching it. That's it. The hardest part was the timing and the catching. And once I caught it and kept my balance, it was a touchdown from there. I had a few good blocks. Shout out to Bowman.
Hey, did you keep that ball?
You know what? I was so excited I lost that ball. I'm still mad about that today. But, hopefully this year I finally get me some more, man.
Hey, that's the attitude right there, Jimmy. And I guess that's going to keep you craving more interceptions. And so, hey, man, whatever works for you. But my next question for you is, since you arrived in San Francisco, you've played for a number of head coaches, including Jim Tom Sula, Chip Kelly. Now it's Kyle Shanahan, and he has a great reputation around the NFL for being a player's coach. So what sets him apart from the others you've played for?
Man, I feel like all of them was good coaches, but the difference with Coach Kyle Shanahan is, and he's just a different guy. Like loves football, been around it, been a ball guy when he was younger, and then he's so laid back. He's passionate about it. I just feel like he acts like. He acts like a player. He used to play too back in college too. It's just he acts like a player. It's like it's so different. Like he doesn't really even see. And then I guess he's younger too, so I guess he's closer to age to his players. But at the same time, I just love his energy. I love his passion about the game, and then I just love how he's so chill. He's all about business too, but at the same time, like you can be yourself. That's one thing that he emphasized. He loves guys to be himself. He doesn't like the bullshit guys. He comes at you straight, and he'll let you know. And I say if you got a problem, you can go and talk to him. I keep in contact with him. When we talk, he hit me up every now and then, and we'll conversate about the season, conversate about life, and that's what I like about him. He cares about his players more than just football.
In 2019, you all had a successful season with Kyle Shanahan at the helm. You started 13 games. You recorded 65 tackles, 8 pass breakups, 1 sack, en route to a dominant 13-3 season and a trip to Super Bowl 54. Talk about the thrill of making it to the biggest stage in NFL football. You were in Miami Gardens taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. How did that experience benefit you and the team?
Oh man, just that experience of going to the Super Bowl was just it was amazing. You know, before that, I remember during the season, I want to say it was like 6-0, 7-0, and our Coach Kyle Shanahan, asked a few questions. He asked the team to raise your hand if you ever went 7-0, and I want to say it was like 3 or 4 guys, maybe 5 that raised their hand if they went 7-0. Coaches included, everybody, training staff, the whole team. It was just like 5 included. That's it. That's about it. Then he said, raise your hands if you ever won a playoff game. And I want to say it was probably less. I'd say 4 or 3 people who had their hands up. And then he said, raise your hands if you made it to a Super Bowl. He didn't say when. He just said made it. And I want to say it was a good 2 or 3. No, it was like 2 or 3. It was around the same amount. But just think about how many guys that's on the NFL roster with the training staff, with the coaches, the GM, just everybody around the building that's just in that team meeting room. And you tell me it's only like 5 guys that been in a winning season, went on to win playoff games and went to the Super Bowl. So just that experience, I feel like that really helped the team out. And now, that's our standard. And so when you got a group of guys, we lost a few guys, but you really got that same team coming back. So, and it's not going to be given to us that next year. We're going to have to go out there and we're going to earn it. Really, we earning it right now. Like, we got guys still working out right now, guys still eating, trying their best, keeping their head in their books and staying out of trouble. That's how we can win right now. But that experience and just being there, I just feel like it's going to help us in the long run. Now we know what it takes to get back to the Super Bowl.
Now, Jimmy, we know that the NFL has moved forward with the virtual offseason programs. You talked about still staying in shape and still preparing for the upcoming year despite the uncertainty about when week 1 will come. How have you all as a team and the coaching staff, how have you all been able to really make the best of the virtual system?
Really just having meetings. It was cool. I want to say we started Monday, and that's basically how we do it. So it's really short right now. Next week we start to pick it up. We start to have all the extra meetings, but they put a lot of stuff in the iPads that that we may need to look at. Or they put extra information in there. You got different supplements we can take. They got a workout routine. We got meetings. We had individual meetings this week with our coaches. Coach Kyle Shanahan. We had a team meeting. We sent the team meeting out. So I feel like everything that we normally do during the first phase 1 OTAs, we doing that besides like the workouts. So that's the only thing we can't do. We got to do that on our own. We can't be around the team. But other than that, we still feel that vibe. Just seeing your teammates' face. Talking to them and checking up on them. So I want to say I feel like the virtual meetings is not bad. I kind of like it.
Now back to the gridiron, talking about some of the toughest receivers and tight ends you've had to cover, Jimmy. This is always an interesting question, but if you had to list 5 of the most difficult pass catchers that you've gone up against up to this point in your career, who would they be and why?
The crazy thing is I'm going to name more bigger bodies because I'll explain it. I'll explain that by name. I'm gonna say Brandon Marshall, because I feel like he got the best of me my rookie year, not my second year, but my rookie year. I'm gonna give it to Benjamin because he did some good stuff to me at corner. Benjamin. Let me see who else I went against. I'm gonna say Julio 3. I'm gonna say Brandon Marshall, Kevin Benjamin, Julio Jones, and who is the next 2? I want to say Antonio Brown, but I didn't actually have to cover him. I watched it. That's the game that I didn't start, and the next game after that start. So I could say Antonio, but I haven't won against him.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I'm gonna say Antonio Brown. And fifth, I'm gonna say Cole Beasley. I gotta give it to Cole Beasley. Like that, I went against. That I feel like had some success. Well, yeah, I'm just saying Antonio Brown because like he had success every time I played against him. So even though I didn't cover him, I just feel like he was nice.
Richard Sherman, your veteran anchor back there who had a great year. And you know now that Arizona, one of your divisional foes, added a guy like DeAndre Hopkins to the fold. You got Kyler Murray. How excited are you all to go off against those explosive offenses this coming season?
Oh, man, it's definitely going to be a bigger challenge, man. I just feel like Arizona was good last year, too. And now they just added another key piece to the team. It's going to be real interesting. I just feel like we got the toughest division. We got the Rams, we got Seattle, Arizona, and all three of those teams are stacked. So it's definitely going to be tough again. Trying to win out our division. So, but at the same time, I feel like winning our division it'll definitely make a statement in the league.
On a personal level, Jimmy, as we get ready to close out the interview, you played out your 1 year, $4.5 million deal in 2019, right? It was a prove-it deal, coming off a couple of injuries, and you played very well, and you earned a new 3-year contract that you signed back in March. How special is it for you to stay with a team that drafted you?
Oh, man, it's very special. It doesn't happen in the NFL often. A guy that stays on the team, franchise for a long time. It's NFL stands for not for long. You're always shifting somewhere either, and I feel like both parties had to come to a compromise because I could have ended up leaving for more money, and it definitely worked out. And I'm happy to be a Niner heading into my 7th season, and hopefully I retire a Niner.
Now, lastly, what is your message to the 49er faithful as you all prepare and gear up for another year coming off a high in 2019? What do you want the fan base to know about your work ethic, the team's work ethic, and Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch's motivation to bring a Lombardi back to San Fran?
To the 49er faithful, I appreciate the energy that y'all brought last season. Let's do it again. If everything works out with the COVID-19, we got all the guys. We're working, we're grinding, and we definitely trying to have another run for the Lombardi Trophy. And I want to say it's in Tampa this year, and we're gonna definitely bring that home this year, man. And we can't just do it with the team. We got to do it with all of us, the whole 49er organization, fans, everybody. We're all one team.
That's a great message right there from Jimmie Ward. Again, brother, I really do appreciate you taking time out of your afternoon to join the Pro Football Chase podcast again. A big fan of you as a player, but as a person off the field as well. So keep up the great work. Stay safe, man, and hopefully if all goes well, we will have football in the fall, and looking forward to seeing you and the 49ers take the field.
Definitely. Thank you for the interview, and thank you for your time, too.